Guys, and I'm going to do my best here to try to do some summary with the last couple minutes we have left. We talked about what came across obvious is there is a tremendous amount of progress going on, and I think we talked about public safety and national security blending together with that progress. We talked a lot about the deconfliction going on out there amongst the various entities. The term, I like that freeing the data term, which came up early in progress, and getting that data out there so it's usable and to those that need it. We talked about a lot of information integration going on, and a lot of these one-time diverse sets of networks out there now blending together and interoperating together to get that threat information out quickly so decisions can be made. On specific programs, we heard a lot about eyesight, and we heard a lot about the DHS data framework. Standards alignment came up and the importance of standards alignment. The FBI program on InfoGuard was cited as one that's making some progress, and the hope with software-defined networks and how they can in the future help begin with that analogy of the road expanding and collapsing. We talked about lessons learned. One came across loud and clear is listen to the users and listen to the customer and get the stakeholders involved. Work with that unity of effort and leveraging of efforts, get all the stakeholders around the table so you can make progress together as opposed to having difficult hurdles to hit down the road. And the security of the environment. You have to create that trust so people have believe they're working, can trust one another with secure environment. We talked barriers and constraints. We had some discussion about bandwidth and infrastructure, especially overseas and in places that where individuals are used to getting things quickly. All of a sudden now you're in a part of the world or in a place where the bandwidth and infrastructure is not there, so that has to be dealt with. We talked about the fact that the threats continue to evolve and we need to collaborate to get proactive, to get in front of them, to begin thinking like what are the next threats and what are the bad guys thinking about so we can get the controls in quickly. The culture change came up as it does every show, the need to, we're asking people to change a little bit about the way they do things, and people are, by their nature, are resistant to change. And we talked about the speed of decisions, that decisions are going to have to be made very, very quickly, and we're going to have those capabilities to do that. The future, we talked about scaling. It's going to get larger and larger, more and more data. The technology is going to need to keep up. We talked about the future is going to be all about the data, and we talked about the data in human terms, and I actually enjoyed that conversation. I thought that was a very interesting way to look at things. Shamendra brought up that blending together national security and public safety, as well as the core frameworks that are going place. My takeaway from all this is what it's all about is saving lives in the future. That's what I take away from this. Everything you've been talking about, it's about making that